What's up boys and girls, C Lopez back once again with another tutorialism, and today I'm going to be looking at stereo panning. So what is a pan control? Well, a pan control can send whatever's coming out of either the left channel or the right channel to either the left speaker or the right speaker or anywhere in between. Now when we're working with an Ableton here, Ableton automatically puts everything onto a stereo channel and it gives us one pan dial here. Now this isn't strictly speaking a pan dial, because if I move this dial to the right, rather than just send the information that's coming out of the left channel to the right speaker, it just reduces the volume of the left channel. And if I move the pan dial to the left, it reduces the volume of the right channel rather than send that over. Okay, and to demonstrate this, I have, if I can get this back to the center, I've got this instrument rack here and I've got two different instruments coming out of the left and right channel. So if I play this, if I move the dial to the left, you'll hear that we only have this percussion type sound. If I move the dial to the right, you'll hear we've only got this pad sound. Now if this was a pan dial in the true sense of the word, we would be able to hear the percussion that was coming out of the left channel now in the right channel, but we can't. As I say, it's just reduced the volume of that channel. Okay, so to enable true stereo panning with an Ableton, I've just looked at the way stereo channels would work on a traditional console. So when we would record something and we want that source to be stereo, we'd use two microphones, a left microphone and a right microphone, and we record the left microphone onto one channel and the right microphone onto another channel. And so for example, say if we recorded our left microphone onto channel 1 here and our right microphone onto channel 2 here, what we would do is pan channel 1 hard left and pan channel 2 hard right, and then we would link the channels, and then we have a stereo pair. So what I've done is emulated this within Ableton. And the way I've done it is with this stereo utility, and I remember a few months back somebody got in touch asking about this stereo utility that I always have set up on my channels, and at the time I thought doing a whole video on stereo panning might be a little bit boring, but for some reason last week on a few of the different Facebook groups a lot of people were talking about stereo panning with an Ableton, so I thought I'd make the video right now. So anyway, I'll give you a demonstration of how this stereo utility works. So I'll play this instrument again, and what we have down here is independent panning controls of both the left channel and the right channel. So if I want to pan the right channel into the left speaker, I just use this dial. And now you can hear everything's coming out the left speaker, but we can hear both that percussive instrument and the panning instrument. And the same if I move it the other way, and obviously with these controls we can get a kind of stereo width and still have that pan in a certain direction, which is kind of cool. I've also put two dials up here which give you gain over the left and right channel independently. A global gain which will reduce both left and right channels, same as the link function on a console. And then we've just got the traditional balance dial here which does the same thing as this. Okay, I've also included a stereo to mono dial here. So position 0 we have the true stereo. If I move this up to position 1, it changes the signal to mono. Now when we're in mono, we can still use this balance dial, and as you can hear, it's put both the left and right channels into the right speaker here, but without any kind of stereo width. And also when we're in mono mode here, we can also switch between mid and side mode. So if we have the dial at 0%, we just do a mono signal and we're just hearing what is directly in the center in the mids. If we put it all the way up to 200%, then we've removed all the mid information and we're just hearing what's on the sides. Put it to 100% and we're just hearing the regular signal as it was coming through. So I am going to make this rack available as a free download. If you just click on the link below, you just click on it, download it, it's all good. But for those of you who are interested in seeing how I made this, I'm going to give you a quick run through. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is an audio effect rack. Open up the list, create a chain, and let's do that 3 times. Let's leave it on 2 for now. Okay, we call this one left, this one right, and what I need is 2 utilities, one on the left channel and on the right channel even, and change this in the drop down menu to right, and on the left do the same thing and change that one to left. Okay, open up the macro and I'm going to map the panorama of the left one to this macro here and the right one to this one and pan them either way. This one pan, some spaces in there to make it look neat. Right pan, some color. Also going to map the gains, so right gain, left gain, gain, some color as well, to 0, and using these pans here, I'm going to map these to macro 1, and I'm going to call these balance, give it a color. Okay, now I'm going to set up a third in the chain. I'm going to call this stereo mono. Set the width to 0. Okay, and I'm going to create a chain. I'm going to move this over to the next position in the chain, and I'm going to map this section here to this macro here and change the value so the max volume is at 1. So now when I move the chain selector to position 1, we're just going to get this third utility at position 0. We're going to get the original 2 utilities. Okay, let's hide this. And I'm also going to use this dial to turn off the different utilities when they're not being used. So let's click the on-off switch, map that, and the same with the right, map that, and let's put these 0, 0, and 1, 1, and then do the exact opposite with the stereo mono utility. So switch it to 1 and that to 0. So let's just check that worked. Let's play the track. Balance. Through, and yeah, it's turned off the left and right when I've switched it. So let's label that stereo mono, and let's map this macro to the width on the stereo mono track. Call that width mid side, and then with this last macro I'm just going to map all of the volumes in the chain here and stick it to -3. Call that global gain, give those some colors, and yeah, there we have it. Delete this one and rename this stereo utility. Now, if you are going to use this, you're probably going to want to use this on everything. So what I've done is set this up, and what I'm going to do is I'll set it up as default on my tracks. So as you can see, I have already done that previously, but this is how you do it. So you get your utility, you copy it over onto your blank audio track, right click and go save as default audio track. Yep, that means every time you open up an audio track you have the stereo utility on there, and it's going to do the same for the MIDI track. And let's copy this over, right, save as default MIDI track. Okay, so there we have it, stereo panning or true stereo panning within Ableton Live 9. So I know some of you guys watching this aren't using Ableton, using Logic or Cubase or Fruity Loops or whatever, but I have actually found a third-party plugin that can do the same thing and a little bit more to what my rack's just done here. And this plugin is called Xtrim by sknote.it. So this just works in the exact same way. Side, mid, stereo panning, a little bit buggy, still in version 1.0. This thing also has high pass and low pass filtering, and it's a delay compensation dial, and the ability to pitch up and down, and a chorus dial switch there, and I guess that's a oversampling switch here. Okay, yeah, so if you don't have Ableton and you can't follow this tutorial, get Xtrim by sknote.it. Okay, so that's it for now. C. Lopez, Tutorialism. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, thanks for commenting. Get in touch with Facebook if you want to chat. Peace.